So back to what I was saying, sorry. So like I said, one reason is not enough for entering the market. You need to have at least three confirmations, three reasons why you must enter that trade at that time. If you enter that trade, why are you entering that trade? Are you entering that trade because you want to trade? Or are you entering that trade really because, you know, you're really sure of what you're doing? So like I said, if I come to buy Ripple and I said, oh, Ripple has broken, so therefore let's buy. That's a very clumsy reason to buy the market, right? But if I say, okay, Ripple has broken and is about to retest the resistance, and if it retests the resistance and continues upward, it's a good buy. And if I say, okay, now there's a pennant on Ripple, right? And that pennant has been broken, is another reason, another good reason. Now, if also want to give you a third reason for trading Ripple, it is the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame, which is a very strong reason too, because you know, having a pennant on the daily time frame, having a breakout of trend on a daily time frame or any higher time frame is a very solid reason for you to know want to enter the market. Yes, it's a very solid reason for you to want to enter the market. Reason is because higher time frames are better for swing trading. If you want to do swing trading and you want to do swing trading very well, you have to use higher time frames, right? The idea of swing trading is you're not trading for the day, right? You can hold that trade for a week, 2 weeks, up to, but not more than a month. Yes, you can hold it for up to a month, but not more than a month. Yeah, not more than a month. So that's where we have it. Ripple. Ripple is a good buy, but don't buy now. That's the idea. Like I said, we have a retest coming on. If you can see, this is the daily candle for today. And if you notice, it has already started nosediving, right? So, like I said, I'm expecting it to retest and go up. If it breaks this support, if it chooses not to recognize this guy as a support, then our entry is invalidated. What validates our entry right now? We already have two validators that has been ticked good, right? You get the point. The pennant already has been broken, which is one of the validators, one of the confirmations. The pennant has been broken, right? We had a nosedive here. Let's bring in that nosedive again. So we have a nosedive around this region where we literally saw that, okay, it has condensed very well. It has leveled up very well. So what we are necessarily now seeing is we either wanted to see either a break to the upside or a break to the downside. So nosedive is there, pennant check, nosedive there, and then there's a break of pennant. There's a break of pennant, but then our final confirmation for this entry is a retest of the resistance. Retest of the resistance. And this might take more than 1 day, might take 1 day, might take 2 days, 3 days, depending on how the market chooses to play out, right? We are just traders and analysts, right? So we don't want to get stuck in the market. We don't want our money to be lost in the market. Yeah. So there we have it. And if Ripple breaks down, right, this is the next level I'm expecting it to drop to. That if it's going to break this support right here, it's going to pick up another one right here. Right. So now let's look at the next possible place Ripple might, rise to when it comes to price. Right. Where are we expecting it? If it decides to continue, where next? Now, if you notice there's a resistance here, let's bring that. So this is the zone I'm expecting Ripple to, get to. So that's it. It's 8 cents. It's 8 cents. It's 8 to $1. Yes, because it's a whole. Okay, let me use the rectangle there. It's a whole lot of let's see. So yeah, there we have it. So this is the region I'm expecting people to get to in the next couple of days, couple of weeks, right? But like I said, once a pennant on a higher time frame has been broken, whichever trend it is choosing to take is going to last long, right? And if this trend is going to last long, then this is the next, this is my take profit zone here, right? I'll be pursuing 80 cents to $1. Yes, although there's another one here, there's another zone here, but it's not that strong for me, which is the 80 cents. Yes, so like I said, I'm correct. 80 to $1, right? 80 to $1. Yeah, so there we have it. So that's that for Ripple. I don't know if there's any something. A lot of people are going to regret not buying crypto in the next bull run. Yes, I can assure you, a lot of persons are going to regret that. The next bull run will shock people, right? So pennant. Like I said, pennant is a situation in the market where you have a market trend closing in on each other, right? You have the upper region and the lower region shrinking, right? Especially from the upper side, right? So if you look at this chart, right here, pay attention to this chart. I circled this stuff. Let's bring it up. So I circled this stuff for us. Please pay attention to this. Now, this is a pennant. How is it a pennant? We have our flat base, we have our support, and then we have, a ranging market creating higher lows, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. Now, like I said, this market is coming from top to down to meet that base. So the more it's coming down to meet that base, it's forming what we call a pennant. A pennant is a diagram, right? You can search that on Google. Google what a pennant is. It's a shape. So if you take note of your screen, if you watch your screen, you notice this is the shape that you're seeing right now. This is the shape. So this is like a triangle, but not your triangle. I think this is what the mathematicians will call an acute triangle. Okay, that drawing there looks like a dolphin. Okay, so let's get this right. All right. So this is what you're having, right? So you're having that acute triangle, right? So that's the pennant. And like I said, whenever a pennant is broken, whichever position the market breaks the pennant to becomes the new trend, right? So market has broken the pennant to the upside. So I'm expecting Ripple in the next couple of days, couple of weeks to hit $1, 80 cents to $1. That's my take, 80 cents to $1. So I'm buying Ripple. I'm not buying Ripple now. I'm not buying Ripple this weekend, right? If you also paid attention to what I've been saying since, you notice I say don't buy Ripple now. Don't say you want to buy Ripple now. If you do that, you might be risking your portfolio. Why do I say so? It's weekend, guys. It's weekend, guys. Trades during weekends are not so. Except you've mastered the market, like I have. I can assure you that I can trade Ripple today and I'll make money. But I'm choosing to stay away. Remember, I trade with principles, guys. Yes, I trade with principles. And I don't break those principles for nothing. I don't break those principles. So remember, okay. All right, so I don't break those principles. Remember, these principles are what helps us stay in the market consistently, which before now, I've always said that I have 4 W's that guides my market. 4 W's that guides my trading. First is when to enter a trade, when to exit a trade, when to stay on a trade, and when to stay away from the crypto space entirely. Right? This is one thing people need to learn. This is one thing people need to master. Beyond mastering your emotion, beyond mastering your psychology, I have these checkers. beyond mastering your emotion, beyond mastering your psychology, have these checkers, when to enter the market, when to exit the market, when to stay in the market, and when to stay entirely away from the market, right? When to entirely stay away from the market. So right now, I am choosing to stay away from Ripple till next week, Tuesday. Yes, probably Monday, Tuesday, I'll look at market condition and then I'll decide to buy. Like I said, my final check for Ripple is come down, test this resistance, pick it up as a support, then we buy, right? And when we buy, we are going to swing it to 80 cents, $1, whichever one you choose to go. So let's check the lower time frame. So you can see on a lower time frame, like 4 hour. When I mean lower time frame, you understand that 4 hours is also a higher time frame, but compared to the daily time frame, 4 hours is lower. But you also check the lower time frame, which is the 4 hour time frame. Look at this. Look at it. So Ripple is gradually following this line here. It's following this trend, right? Trying to, that's the market. Market is designed to follow trends and patterns. So one worst thing you will do to yourself is to trade against the trend or trade against the pattern. That's one of the worst things you want to do to yourself, friends. Never trade against a trend. Never trade against a trend. Never trade against a trend. So I am so very sure that Ripple likely will come to this region, pick it up as a support, and move up. And this is where I'm going to wait for it. So even if I want to enter the trade now, what will I do? I'll put a buy entry here. I think this is $42.78, right? So 0.427, that's 42 cents. 42 cents. So this is where I'm going to put a buy entry. That I want to take the trade now. Just in case I'm not online by the time the market gets to that point to pick up that support, it can take me in automatically without me being there. What do I need to do? I just put a buy entry. So that's that for Ripple. Okay, let's check the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame also is looking very good. Now, this is the weekly time frame. Now, I called Ripple earlier on, like I said, for the masterclass guys. We were privileged to trade Ripple, and this was the entry. This was the confirmation on the weekly time frame. The double bottom. There you have it, the double bottom. Once you know your onions in the market, trust me, you're going to make profits stresslessly. Just make sure you're following principles, you're following patterns, you're following charts, candlesticks, formation of candlesticks. So we have double bottom, we have ascending triangle, we have head and shoulder patterns. All these things are real, right? So you're seeing a double bottom here. If you see this double bottom, what is the next thing that should come to your mind? A long spike, which we had this week, right? So on the weekly time frame, Ripple has already done pretty well. On the weekly time frame. Yeah, so that's that for that trade. So the next trade I want to look at, which I'm not going to bring any chart up, but I'm just going to call it for us. Degen. If you don't know what degen means, just search it on Google, but degen simply is a short word for degenerate.